Anime Comfest 2022 was a huge success for the Valkyries of Arcadia. And although the 2-day festival is over, we're far from done. As a matter of fact, we're just getting warmed up. Today we stopped by Digicel's head office to have a few words with Elon Parkinson, Digicel's public relations and communications manager. This is where we find out more about Digicel's involvement in this year's Anime Comfest. And we also get the scoop on Digicel's future plans in the world of gaming, competitive and casual. Spoiler alert, they're pretty epic. Elon, this interview has been a long time coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Good to be
finally,
here.
Happy to have you here.
Yeah, man.
So I just wanted to get to know your views and Digicel's views on the anime community, seeing that Anime Comfest passed, and now you know that we exist. So let's get right down to it, shall we?
Well, you know, first of all, we always knew that you guys existed because you were so active in the digital space, primarily in social media, sharing your experiences with anime, you know, in very animated ways, might I add. Very engaging as well, and adding more persons to the community as you do. That's the power of social media, but that's also the power of our network in enabling persons to use social media to enter that space. So we're very excited about what we're seeing in the development, and of course when you consider the Anime Fest on the weekend and the outpouring of support that you had there, you know, we are very much encouraged to have been a part of it and supporting your team.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get right down into it now that you clearly know so much. So it's clear that Digicel has always been helping different communities develop.
Right.
And recently, you know, the Valkyries of Arcadia brought to you Jamaica's anime community. So my question is, what do you hope Digicel can do to help Jamaica's gaming and anime scenes and businesses?
Well, it's more than hope. It's actually putting our thoughts and deeds and plans into action. So, for instance, we are in the midst now of a $200 million US spend on expanding our LTE and fiber networks, right? And we started spending that cash last year, July 2021. A year later, we have spent a little over half of that money already on ensuring that we reach 99% population coverage for super fast LTE mobile data, as well as rolling out fiber optic service to homes in rural Jamaica, Mandeville, in particular, other communities in Manchester, Clarendon, several communities there. We're moving into some other areas in Western Jamaica very soon, and I know it's going to generate a lot of excitement for customers because they know the power of our super fast fiber networks. So that's what we've been doing to enable our customers, because we understand that, look, when it comes on to gaming, you need the edge, and that edge is speed. Right? You need low latency internet, right? That is just always going to be able to respond to your command within milliseconds or nanoseconds, right?
Lots of things happen in a second.
Because you're going up against gamers in first world countries that have super fast connections.
No problems at all.
And now that we're enabling more Jamaicans to have comparable speeds, you know, that levels the playing field. So now it's all about skill, it's never about speed because you're matching them with speed.
No excuses.
There you go.
Internet access is basically a normal part of life now. From young to old, and everybody in between is using it.
Absolutely, it's like water.
Exactly.
Right.
So my question is Digicel planning to expand its services into this field, and why?
Okay, we absolutely plan to. We have a Digital Jamaica project that we're undertaking, and that's primarily because we understand that the future is digital. It's going to be digital jobs, it's going to be people doing more e-commerce, e-learning, everything. It's also going to be about home security being more electronic than ever before. We're already seeing it, right? Where people are able to pick up their smartphones and see who's at their front door, right? They rely on a super fast internet connection for that. It's about people wanting to monitor loved ones at home. You know, the elderly not doing so well, but you know, you need to still go out and work, but you can have a camera so that you can check on mommy and daddy. It's summertime and they're home, and you need to just, you know, make sure you have an extra eye. You now have that electronic eye through your smartphone. right? So we understand that the Internet of Things has really taken over the way we operate our lives,
Yes.
right? And it is now for us to ensure that we develop and deploy the network technology that keeps those technologies always on.
Most companies don't take anime or gaming seriously, which is why we appreciate that Digicel is here, willing to talk to us.
Well, look, I mean, the gaming community, remember now, right? A lot of this has to do with what we used to think of gaming before.
Oh yes,
right?
take up your
So
book.
it's time wasting, you could be doing something else. And if you're great at gaming, then the assumption is that you're bad.
Yes,
at
you're
the
a bad
books,
child, yes.
right?
Go
Because
to school.
you waste so much time playing
Too
games.
much time on the game.
Exactly.
Get off the phone.
Right. So nobody's thinking about gaming in terms of developing dexterity and skill and acuity and all that kind of thing, right? But over time, it has changed, because what you've found is that with the development of games that are far more interactive, games that challenge your mind and
Yes.
your thinking, more people are beginning to say, this is not just about fun anymore, right? This is actually about something that can teach you a skill and some life skills as you go along. And it is also a way for people to earn money, right? We've seen the billions of dollars that exist now in the global gaming industry,
Oh, yes.
right? So gaming is now serious business, right?
Sad Valkyrie.
There you go, right? And to the degree that young entrepreneurs like yourself
Yes.
have gotten into the game, no pun intended, right? Then it means that we must find a way to facilitate that kind of entrepreneurship, right? Through technology, but also through endorsements such as this.
Yes, and it was really nice to people who came to Anime Confest and they saw the Digicel banners. This one is here? Where? I can tell you, my social media comments are filled with people. Talk to Digicel, please. Let them know we need the internet. Like, yes, it's coming.
Yeah.
Please wait.
Yeah, and it's not too far off either,
Communities and companies need to work together in order to make things better together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my question is, why does Digicel want to work to develop these different communities throughout Jamaica?
Because, societies thrive on diversity. We all can't be farmers, right?
Yes.
We all cannot be technologists, right? We all can't be gamers either,
Yes.
right? And so one of the things, though, is that the power of our network is that it enables people. Think of it like data, like the new oil, right? When, oil is there in the ground and it's extracted, you use it for several things,
Yes.
right? It powers the car, it powers the GPS grid, it powers, several other machine-oriented kinds of devices.
Very essential.
Right? It's just an essential product, right? But so we provide the oil, and then you decide how you want to use the oil, right? It's kind of like that, and so we see ourselves as almost as enablers in chief, just making sure that we're there at the cornerstone of the Jamaican society, providing the technology grid that makes everything else happen. And that's the important role that we've been playing for the past 21 years. And, as a company that's also made in Jamaica, we have a unique understanding of what drives the Jamaican spirit, right? And I think, above all, it's ambition. We're a super ambitious bunch of people.
Oh, yes,
We're always
tell
looking
us
out for
nothing.
opportunities. Right? And we don't necessarily need people to point us in the direction. We will figure it out.
We'll figure it
right?
out.
But we need an enabling environment to
Yes.
make it happen. Right? So whether you live in New Kingston, right, or in Cave Valley, right, the
Spanish
one
Town.
thing, or Spanish Town, right? Yeah, I was born and raised in Spanish Town.
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah, I was. Right?
Spanish Town guy.
Oh, for real, you too?
Yes.
Oh, see? There you go. The one thing that's true is that you'll both be able to enjoy a comparable level of access to the internet, So you don't need to move into Kingston to say, boy, you know, I have this ambition to be a gamer, but I can't stay in Cave Valley and do it.
That has actually been the concern. I've had people say they have to move to Kingston because of their job, where the internet is not that strong, or it just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So like they have to, and they end up moving into Kingston. They're doing okay now, but I'm like, there should be a way that you don't have to do all that to get fast internet.
That's true. That's true. And that's what we're working on, right? It's you know, Jamaica is not an easy place to provide internet service to, primarily because of the terrain. We have a very hilly interior.
Yes.
And you know, so it makes it more feasible to provide wireless internet technology. But then because of the topography, you find that, you know, you have to install more sites, and then we have the specter, unfortunately, of theft and vandalism on the network.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have to put sites in remote places so that communities can get a very fast internet signal, and a strong one too. But then when we have the pernicious nature of vandalism and theft of our batteries or generators or the fuel inside the generators,
cables,
it poses a real challenge. Of course, yeah, the cable theft too, all of that. So, you know, we are making a special appeal. I'll use this forum to do it as well, just to, you know, to tell people to stop. You know, it really stifles the development of industries like yourself, you know.
So have you ever played a video game before or watch anime?
Oh gosh, now you're dating me. You're sending me back into the days of Atari. That was like my first, yeah, that was my first video game. I had an Atari, a little black controller and the red knob on it. I think I used to play, was it Dig Dug at the time? Yeah, there was that game and another. You had these huge, what do you call them again? Well, I had a console, and then the cartridge, the game cartridge that you would stick in, and you know, you'd play a bunch of games and stuff, exchange games at school. I went to Woolmer's, so lots of the Woolmer's guys had Ataris, so it was, you know, easy. And then you moved up to, what was it after that one? I know I had a Commodore computer. That was like my first computer. That's Commodore 64K. My goodness.
His eyes going into his past.
Yeah.
So have you ever watched any anime like Dragon Ball Z? Bleach?
I've watched a couple of them. A few only by default. I'll admit. I've watched them by default because if friends come by the house and you know, they're into it, and I'll, you know, probably sit down for a couple of minutes and watch. But I've never really watched through.
Okay. Well, this is where the Valkyries come in, because we love different sorts of anime, and I'm sure the more you meet with us, you're gonna find your thing. There's a taste in it for everybody.
All right,
that's the beauty of anime.
You're challenging me now.
Yes. And finally, I know that some people say that social media is the new TV. So my question is does Digicel see themselves expanding into this social media space? Yes.
In terms of expanding into social media, you know, we have a suite of apps that, you know, when you activate a Digicel Prime bundle, for example, you already have access to those apps. One of the fastest growing in terms of downloads is our BIP Advanced Messaging app. And I say advanced messaging app because it's more than just being able to call up to 10 persons in high definition and to send photos and videos and all of that stuff like, you know, most of the popular apps do. But it also has a discover section that enables local entrepreneurs to advertise their products right there in the app, right? And you can just go there if you want to be a part of the community of persons who, you know, do hairdressing, or, you know, you do shoe repair, or you have clothes to sell or whatever, or even gaming, right? You can, you know, open up your own section in the discover aspect of the BIP Advanced Messaging app, spelled BIP. You can just go to the Play Store or the App Store and download it and play around with it. It's an amazing app, really is. The encryption features are top notch. And like I say, you can video call up to 10 persons at a time in high definition quality, right? No other messaging app does that for you. So it's amazing. So that's just one of the things that you get when you're with us, right? So in terms of that social media immersion, I mean, you know, that would be one of the ways. We also have the Go Loud app where you can view a bunch of podcasts and, you know, listen to some amazing playlists, right, put together by the Caribbean's really hot DJs, and just access in general to the other social media apps that we already know about, right? But also, like I said earlier, it would be good to see a Jamaican or a group of Jamaicans come up with a really amazing social media app, you know, that would just take the world by storm. We'd love to see that, and obviously want to support as best as we possibly can.
So you hear that? Digicel wants to see more of you guys' creative minds come to the forefront. Thank you very much, Elon. Nice to finally have you again. Yeah,
good to be here, and all the best with the work that you guys have been doing. You're an amazing bunch.
Yeah, so Valkyries of Arcadia, Digicel, put it together.
That's right.
Yes. Digicel and the Valkyries of Arcadia, a match made in Valhalla. Stay tuned to see how all this pans out, because as you all know by now, at the Lab Video Game TV, our game is never over.